like I don't do much preaching today. So our next speaker, I'll quickly run to our next speaker. I think Mami has already introduced our next speaker, and I will just go ahead and that he comes to deliver on to us. So our next speaker is Dr. Jonathan Adjimani. So Doc, I've not met Doc in person. Actually, I admire him from afar, based on his help. Charlie, if Doc starts talking, he will run away because he has a lot of experience and exposure. Remember, I was in level 100. It was compulsory for us to buy a book titled Enzymology. Is it enzymology? Yes. I was like, hey, so who wrote this? They said the man was on campus. I never got a chance to meet him. And today is the chance that I'm meeting him face to face here. So it's a privilege to meet Doc. So please and please again, let us take our pens and our book and everything, even as we begin to listen to knowledge, wisdom, and practical impact. Thank you very much, Prof. You have the floor.
Okay. Thank you, Ben, for inviting me to be part of this interaction. Normally, I shy away from such, engagement, but when it comes to the youth, I think especially the youth that have the heart of helping, I could not refuse it. I'm a bit exhausted because we went on an outreach and I just returned home. So bear with me if I am not up to what you were expecting. But I think Ben got to invite me because of a foundation that I direct. We have a foundation that feeds the mentally ill every Saturday. I go out with 4 students from the university, and then we reach out to the mentally ill on the street. We give them about 70 packs of food and water and clothing every Saturday. And that's what we've done since 2020. To date, we've been able to feed about 13,000. We've been able to give out about 13,000 packs of food. I think this idea of the youth impact making is a great idea. The youth are the strength for our future. They are going to be our leaders of tomorrow. And so whatever we can do to encourage our youth, I'm all for it. Now, when we started the foundation, the idea was very beautiful, but the reality was quite harsh. As a people, I think we don't have the spirit of sacrifice, and it's one of our biggest challenges. And so whenever you are starting something like a foundation, then you must think very well about sustainability. As at now, I'm footing almost a third about a third of the bill because of donor fatigue, because of all the, financial challenges people might be having. So from running an NGO, I would say, there's quite a bit that has to be done to sustain it. What I want to share with you this evening are some personal thoughts that I think will help you as you take up the mantle of leadership. Let me state that what I'm sharing with you is discretionary. And so, it's from my own observation and experience. As a people, sometimes I've wondered whether we are lost and just don't know whether we are lost, and therefore are not panicking. I think we've been overtaken by events. And it is important that as you, the youth, come up, you see that you have a different direction that would help move the nation forward. There are some truths that I have come to learn about life. Now, the future is not a gift. It is an achievement. We cannot leapfrog our development. Development is systematic. Because for us, I think when I was at Tech, the computers we were using were as big as a classroom. They were using cards to operate those computers. Now, never in 75, when I was at Tech, never did we think that one day we'll be holding the computer in our palm. That is the phone, the smartphone. So development is systematic. Even I think the inventors at that time didn't know that one day that big computer will become something we can handle in our palm. So development is systematic. We cannot leapfrog our development. We have to understand that. An important lesson I also want to share with you is that life is a survival of the fittest. It is in the ocean and it is on earth. In the sea, why did the good Lord put the shark and the small fish there? It's saying that if you don't strategize, you will be swallowed. I think as a people, our challenges, we've not identified our challenges. Let me put it that way. We settled for two things that have not helped us. Our God is a God of order, but we as a people settled for disorder. We are disorderly in our timing. Everything we do is not orderly. And when you do things that are not orderly, in chemistry, we say that it takes a lot of energy to bring order out of disorder. And so we are still chatting on this disorderly path. And therefore, it's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of time to correct our wrongs. There are things that we've done that have not helped us. And as a youth coming up, I want you to redirect your energies. We settled as a people for too many free things too early in our development. And it didn't help us. In America, they say there's no free lunch. Even as students on the university campuses where I have been outside, students' work is part of, they are part of the workforce on campus. So the Porter's Lodge, the dining halls, they finish and they gain not only the knowledge, the academic knowledge, but they also gain the work ethic they need to progress. So you are competing with an American student and he has a work ethic that you don't have. Because of that, in our society, because the students don't get involved as they are growing, this idea of class distinction started from there. Because in America, you are cleaning the classrooms as a student, you are working the Porter's Lodge, you are doing everything that could be done to earn money. They pay them for it on campus. And therefore, they finish school and they know how to manage their time. They know how to do a lot of things that would help them develop into what they want to be. The first country I visited was Switzerland. And I was marveled by what the Swiss were up to. Very intelligent people. The Swiss model, as I have come to call it, they had niches. They had control over the four important things about life: banking, food, time, and pharmaceuticals. I worked with some pharmaceutical companies in Switzerland. Orderliness is key to their development. If you banking, they are on top. Food, Swiss cheese, we talk about food, they're on top. Time, Swiss were the first people who started working, developing watches and the pharmaceuticals. So how come a country that had nothing, they have the Alps, the mountains, came to be one of the richest countries in the world? Because they knew what they wanted. They saw that when you find money, you look for where to keep it. When you need food, you will need food to eat, to grow. Time was so important to them. The pharmaceuticals, they have some of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world. Do we as a people know what we want out of this life? This is a question I want the youth to take up. We must, like Dr. Amwa said, we have to set goals. It looks like we are groping in the dark. The universities are guilty of it. Every institution is guilty of it. The home is also another problem. The home is under siege. Now parents have left that bringing of the young ones who will be the future leaders to faith. So they are out looking for money, and then they don't know what is happening at home. It is said that the greatest, it's what? No amount of success can compensate for a failure in the home. So the home has become a big problem. Our education has not also helped us. I think we have been schooled and not been educated. Our minds have not been trained. Albert Einstein said that education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. So that is what education is all about. I believe that we have copied blindly, even in the things we do. The things that will help us as a people develop, we never got bothered about. We have run undergraduate programs in our country for over 50 to 60 years. You cannot use an undergraduate program to develop a nation. It is only recently that we started operating graduate programs. We are all guilty of it. You cannot run and make an informed policy with undergraduate programs. The research an undergraduate student does is for 3 months. What can you do with research that is done in 3 months? And we still are operating a system that is not progressive. Ghana is called the Gold Coast. We should be having the biggest reserves of gold now. Why is it taking us close to 70 years to build a gold refinery? Because the gold we were shipping outside, you could not, if you don't refine gold, you have no added value. We have several challenges as a people. We as a people cannot get together. So we cannot build joint businesses. Kofi and Sons, Kofi dies and the business dies. So sole proprietary. It's not helping us. In the West, it is shareholding. So Microsoft will continue forever. In Ghana, it's a one-man business. Kofi and Sons. When Kofi dies, the business. So there are things that are holding us back. And that's why I'm tempted to think that as a people, we are lost. We just don't know we are lost because we have not set goals for development. Now, there are things the colonial masters did that we are still continuing. The bungalows they built, if you go to America, you go to Europe, there are no bungalows. Boys' quarters, they are not there. Because there was a reason for it. But now when they left, when you don't build a boys' quarters, then you are not rich enough. Something that was used to keep the houseboy away, we now use as a status symbol. I think sometimes I think Ghanaians and Nigerians, apart from the Jews, have traveled more than anybody else. If we could bring the knowledge we gained from our travels, I think our countries would be better than what they are now. I don't argue about religion. Our culture, some aspects of our culture are not progressive. Sometimes we talk about bribery and corruption. Our language, our culture, some of our norms encourage bribery and corruption. And sometimes we think it is only the politician who is corrupt, or there is somebody who takes money. I think the taxi driver who is driving on the verge of the road is corrupt. If he had access to money, he would take it. But we have the tendency to think that it's only those who have access to money that are corrupt. So we don't understand ourselves. We talk about corruption. You are not paying the person a living wage and preaching that he should not be corrupt. I don't understand it. So as the young people grow up, I want us to be thinking outside the box. We are people who want everybody, where we want development, but we don't want to pay taxes. If you look at our situation, I think we have to do serious resetting. For me, I sometimes I think we have all it takes to be a happy and a prosperous people, but we have not goals that will take us there. In America, they say that if you don't have a goal, then you'll be running up and down the field and never cross a goal line. As youth, sometimes I don't want us to ask, what would Ghana do for me? Let us ask, what can we contribute towards nation building as an individual? Are we sitting on the fence, or are you sitting on the fence and watching? Let us not ask what the nation let's not always ask what the nation can do for us, but also ask what we can contribute. There are things I want the youth to start thinking of. Okay, we have been copying blindly and it's not helped us. So as we continue to interact with you, I want us to be guided by some of these things, our education, For me, I'm not a religious fanatic, but I believe that no matter what the religion, the core, the tenets of that religion should be love God and love your neighbor. Any other thing doesn't make any difference. So people argue about religion. Religion for me, there are only two things. Love God by obeying him and love your neighbor as yourself. That's it. If you summarize the whole Bible, the whole Quran, that should be. So for me, making noise about religion is not of interest to me. Okay? So it is all about love of God and love of your neighbor as yourself. If we could only practice this, I think we'll be better off. So there are a lot of things that I think the youth must start looking at. Maybe at another forum, we can have time to discuss some of these things. It's not to, dampen your spirit, but there are problems, there are challenges that if we don't overcome, our progress will be very slow in coming, if it will ever come. Now, indiscipline is one of the big things. We are not even good at record keeping. We do anything. The person who is frying yam doesn't know the cost of the yam, the firewood they take from the farm. We do things haphazardly. So you, the youth, like Dr. Amwa said, you must set your goals. The record keeping is very important. how much money are you spending on, data? You must know all these things. You must plan your life this early. Somebody said, beauty at 20, strength at 30, wise at 40, rich at 50, or forget it. I think as you go on as you grow, be guided by this. Now you have the strength, you have the beauty, but there you have to be working towards your future. And I think we are all there to support you. Feel free to let us know what your challenges are. But the way we are moving, I think we are behaving as a people who don't know what they want out of this life. And so for the youth, I want to leave you this evening. I'm a biochemist, so I don't want to talk about biochemistry because that's not your interest. But what I want to leave with you this evening is that you have a good heart for starting this youth impact program. But sustainability, you must work hard towards it. You must also be ready to sacrifice. I don't know Ben personally. I've not met him, but when he asked me to, talk or share some ideas with you, I saw the need to be part of it because I think it is a great idea, and I felt strongly that I must also come and at least introduce myself to you, so that with time we see what we can do as a people to make our lives better. So I think I don't have much to say, but I would like a forum, in-person forum, where we can have a better interaction, so that we share some of the ideas we have with you. So let me end here, and then if you have any questions to ask, I can take a few of your questions. I'm a bit exhausted, so bear with me. Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me once again, and I look forward to interacting with your group so that we can promote the good cause that you've started.
This is very, very, very powerful. Thank you very much, Doc. This is very, very insightful, I must say. As nation builders as we are, we believe that if the country will try, our society will try, if the community will try, then the energetic part of the country must also step in. So we have a part to play. Now, all these problems, not with experience telling us, means that we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. And the practicality that he's talking about is what we have started now. And therefore, our energy or passion towards the impact making is still being fueled. And this is open the forum for questions. So I'll take a few questions. Please, note these questions. I'm begging you, please. So just go straight to the point. Let her look. If you have any questions, kindly put your hand up. You catch my eye for you. Questions time. Okay, bro, let me ask my question. So, with your experience, with all that you have acquired over the years, you find out the problem, a lot of problems. I mean, some are yet to be unveiled. As youth as we are, we've also started our process, and we think that when we come together with our intellect, with all that we've acquired from school, even though it's undergraduate, some to our graduates, what do you expect of us moving forward? In few sentences, briefly, what do you expect from us with how we started, with the foundation and everything? What do you expect from us? What angle do you expect us to move?
Okay, Ben, it requires commitment. Like I said, we as a people, one of our challenges is sacrifice. We want the best out of life, but don't want to give anything. Okay, I remember when we came to, when I started my career at Legon, we came together as, professionals. We had lawyers, doctors, accountants, and we wanted to build a company using our experiences. When it came to time to get people to do things, everybody was, shying away, and therefore it collapsed. You see, that spirit of sacrifice has to be there. You don't do everything looking for money, okay? Every Saturday I drive the volunteers around, not for the pay, but I saw the need to do something like that. So the spirit of sacrifice, the discipline, we want to go to heaven, but we don't want to die. See, this is our challenge, okay? There must, if we don't have the spirit of sacrifice, we can never make it. In fact, religion, when I told you about the fact that love God and love your neighbor is all, for me, that's what all religion is about. Another thing is that the first law in heaven is obedience. The next one is sacrifice. Okay, so if your sacrifice is not good, you must be able to make time. You must be able to give what you can do to support. We don't only use our mouths. You see, we are good at using our mouths, and then, when it comes to helping, so one of the spirits that is holding us back is the spirit of sacrifice. We don't have it, and we have to work on it, because we want to, like I said, we want the best for less. Okay, we want the best at no cost. And for me, that is what the youth must overcome. That it takes sacrifice to make a headway.
Thank you very, very much, Doc. This is very, very, very insightful, and we really appreciate you. So we have people around to help us, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of intellectuals, experienced, learned people around to help us. So whatever, any idea that comes in mind with regards to impact making, give it a try. I mean, do something. Get it? So these are the things that we have to do collectively. I cannot single-handedly run an NGO. No, I need you. You need me. So please and please again, like what Paul is saying, sacrifice. Sacrifice. I'm not getting anything, but I'm still trying. I'm not getting paid, but I'm still trying. I don't have focus on getting money out of what I'm doing, but I'm still doing it. And that is sacrifice. In fact, with life, before you get to somewhere, you have to move somebody to where you've gotten to before you can go up. Believe you me, that is the reality of life. How many people have you raised that you want to be raised up? So wherever you want to meet, even before you have your PhD, the number of books that you have to write, why are you writing those books? You are writing those books to impact somebody to rise up to a level, and then you can also go up.